Good morning, students. How are you? Today we'll study story The Prince and the Pauper, Chapter 8, Part 1, from page 17 to page 19. Let's start. But before starting to read Chapter 8 together, I will remind you with some of the most important points that we studied during Chapter 7. Number one, somebody came to Canty's home and told Canty that he killed Father Andrew. John Canty told his wife that a lot of people saw him. He was a dead man and told her to take the girls. Then she would meet him at London Bridge and he would go a different way with the boy. Canty pulled Edward by the arm through dark little streets. They came to the river and saw crowds of people. Fires and lights lit the sky. A man said to Canty that people were going to see Prince Edward in the king's boat. There was a banquet at the Guildhall that night. The man gave John Canty a cup of drink. Canty took his hand from Edward and drank. Edward ran between his legs and away faster than the wind. Now open your book, chapter 8, page 17, and hold your pencil to underline the most important points. Let's start. Chapter 8 at the Guildhall. The richest and greatest men and women of the city of London sat at the long tables in Guildhall. Tom came in and everybody stood up. They bowed. Tom took his place at the highest table. Lady Jane and Lady Elizabeth sat next to him, and the banquet began. Servants brought wonderful food to the tables. People talked and laughed. There were singers and dancers. Tom started to enjoy it. Now, what's the meaning of a banquet? A banquet is a formal dinner for many people, especially one at which speeches are made. Edward found his way to the Guildhall. He was tired and dirty, but when he saw the soldiers at the great doors, he felt strong again. He looked into their eyes. I am Edward, Prince of Wales. Open the doors. I want to come in. The soldiers laughed. I order you. Open the doors, shouted Edward. Get back, you stupid boy, said one of the soldiers. He pushed Edward away. Do you want to go to prison? Shouted Edward. The crowd started to get angry. Now look at question number one. What did Edward say to the soldiers? And what did the soldiers do? Edward said to the soldiers that he was Edward, Prince of Wales, and he ordered him to open the doors because he wanted to come in. One of the soldiers pushed Edward away and ordered him to get back because he was a stupid boy. But Edward shouted at him and asked him if he wanted to go to prison. Next. Take the boy away. He is mad. They shouted. We wanted to see the prince at the end of the banquet. Go home, boy. Go away. I will not go away. I am Prince Edward. That boy in there is a pauper, not a prince. I am the son of King Henry. The crowd started to look dangerous, but Edward didn't run away. Then a man came out of the crowd and stood next to Edward. Perhaps you are a prince. Perhaps you are not, said the man. Perhaps you are mad. Perhaps you are not. But you are a strong boy. and I like you. I will help you. And who are you, sir? Asked Edward. My name is Miles Hendon. I am one of the king's soldiers. I arrived back from France yesterday. I am on my way to my country house. The crowd came nearer. Now they were very dangerous. Stand back! Cried Miles Hendon. He took out his sword and held it up. Now look at this question. Who was Miles? What was he doing in France? Miles was one of the king's soldiers. He arrived back from France yesterday. He was on his way to his country house. He was fighting for the king and his country for 7 years in France. Next, now look at question number 1. Perhaps you are a prince. Perhaps you are not. Perhaps you are mad, but you are a strong boy, and I like you. I will help you. Question A. Who said that to whom and where? Miles Hendon said that to Edward outside the guild hall. Question B. How was the boy strong? He was strong when he looked into the soldier's eyes and he didn't run away when the crowd looked dangerous. C. Did the speaker help the boy and how? Yes, he did. He took out his sword and fought the angry crowd alone. We have finished our lesson. Thank you. Hoping you enjoyed the chapter. Goodbye.